And welcome back. The ongoing conversation around reparations and systemic discrimination takes center stage as the New York State Community Commission on Reparations Remedies prepares for its actual fifth public hearing. It's set to take place on April the 10th, marking a crucial opportunity for community members to share their testimonies and insights on how the enduring impact of slavery and institutional discrimination in New York State. Joining me now is the Commission Chair of the New York State Commission on Reparations Remedies, Dr. Seanelle Hawkins, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to talk about the New York State Community Commission for Reparation Remedies.
Yes, so please take it away. I think for somebody who may not be so familiar, just give us a little intro.
I'm thrilled to share that New York State is taking a bold step to look at reparative justice for the enduring harms of slavery for New Yorkers, Black New Yorkers in particular. We are excited because this is an opportunity to make some change. And the commission was established in 2024, and we have exactly 1 year to do some research, to work with our community members, to learn more about their experiences, but also to do some deep research about what the reparative process should be. What are the repairs? And so we've been going around the state. There's a commission that was established, as I said, last year by our Governor Hochul, and we're grateful for her support. And of course, the co-sponsors of the bill that established the commission, Senators James Sanders and Assembly Member Szilagyi, and they co-sponsored the bill, and it gives us an opportunity to learn more about next step for reparative justice. So what we've done as a commission is that we've established a process for public hearings. We have business meetings, but public hearings, and public hearings allow the community to provide and lend their voice and their experiences on what are the solutions. What are the solutions that there's a commission of 9 individuals. And if you want to learn more about the commission, you can go to newyork.gov/reparations to learn more and get a deeper understanding. But you can go, the commissioners are learning at the public hearings from the community members about their experiences with the enduring harms of slavery and what they believe the solutions should be. We'll take that information, and at the end of our journey, which we believe will be about the next 18 months, we will put together a report and give that to the governor and the New York State legislative body. And that report will have remedies and solutions on what we've heard and what we've researched and what we believe New York should do. And whether it's by way of policy, by way of different economy, changes in the economy, whatever it is, what we need to do to make those reparative justice changes in New York State. And so it's an opportunity for community members to come out on April 10th. This will be the 5th public hearing. And they can come out on April 10th and provide their testimony. And it's going to be from 5 to 9, and we're going to be in the Bronx. And we are just thrilled to continue this journey of learning more about what the community says. That's the important part of our commission name. It is a community commission.
Right.
And so hearing from the community, doing our research, partnering to learn more, and then giving this report to the governor and to the legislative body.
I think it's no secret that we all understand that historical systemic discrimination has existed for centuries in this country. To be able to get to a place where New York is really addressing it is great, to have open ears. But I want to hear from you in some of your comings and goings a little bit about this discrimination, about the economic impact, if you will. What has been the economic impact that you've heard, that you've seen with regards to discrimination?
Well, one of the things that the commission is doing is we're educating New Yorkers on what some of the injustices and inequities are, whether it be redlining, whether it be blocking of wealth for Black New Yorkers because of they haven't had access. And so there's a series of injustices. And so each session that we have, each public hearing, there is a theme. And so this public hearing theme, we're talking about the Great Migration and post-Reconstruction and the harms that were specifically in the Bronx. So when you come to these public hearings, you're not just learning about what individuals have seen, but you're learning about the role of New York State. And so you'll learn about how redlining has blocked access for individuals to really have a pathway for upward mobility. You're going to learn about New York State's active role in the slave trade. And so certainly most people don't even know that. Most people believe that New York didn't have a role. So these public hearings are really important as to be an opportunity to educate New Yorkers as to why the New York State Community Commission for Reparation Remedies is needed, why it's necessary, why we have to have a pathway for reparative justice. And this is why, because there have been established inequities and there are still lingering harms because of slavery, because of structural discrimination, because of how they've impacted Black New Yorkers. There has to be a pathway to remedy this. And so that is what we're looking to hear from New Yorkers and get experts to prepare their testimony, provide testimony to educate New Yorkers on why this work is important.
What has been the public response since the commission has been formed? As you're going out to these public hearings, of course, you're in the borough of the Bronx soon, but talk to us a little bit about the public response that you've heard so far.
Yeah, well, first of all, we've been in Queens, we've been in Rochester, New York, in Albany, New York. And certainly every time, it's exciting to see at least 150 to 200 people come out. And it's always an education session because many don't know, or many do know, and they're sharing what's happened specifically in their neighborhood. So whether it's talking about urban renewals and the harms of urban renewal programs, what we're learning that. So it's an education process for the community. This commission is still new. We've only been up and running for about a year, so we're still getting data. This is just our fifth hearing. We plan to go all around New York State. So I imagine that we'll probably have 10 to 12 more hearings where we'll capture that data, and that data will be used to inform the report. So it's still not enough information for me to give you all the specifics of what we learned, but it is a process for us. And we plan to share that. Once we make the recommendations, we'll go back around and share them across the state so that New Yorkers can learn more and hopefully gain their support so that we can get our legislators to make the changes that we've provided, to make the changes that have been recommended by the commission. That's what we don't want to go through this entire process and then the changes aren't enacted, right? We want to see that we made some recommendations that came from the community and that we actually see them come to fruition.
Yeah. One of the things that I think people want to talk about is generational wealth. When you look at the fact that slavery, discrimination has played a huge part in the lives, particularly of Blacks, African Americans, as it relates to generational wealth, not even having the opportunity to access that from the jump. From your research, from what you're hearing, talk to me a little bit about that impact of what slavery has done, of what racism has done, particularly to challenge generational wealth. I mean, I think I was having a conversation with my son not too long ago saying that, what happened in Tulsa really was also another part of killing generational wealth as well.
Yeah. When you look at the wealth gap, that's a direct response to what has happened because of the enduring harms of slavery. When we look at communities that are impoverished and there's been no investment, those were things that happened because of slavery. When we look at neighborhoods that are broken and divided, those are the reasons why. So we're still learning. I mean, we know what these things are. It's no secret. But now we need to educate our community so that they can understand the why. Educate our young people so that they understand the why this has happened and the remedies and why the remedies are so important so that we can close the wealth gaps, so that we can change our neighborhoods and make investments in our neighborhood and make sure that there's home ownership for Black New Yorkers, more home ownership for Black New Yorkers, that Black New Yorkers have better access to whether it's health opportunities for their families and their children, but not just for themselves, but for generations to come. And so here's the reparative work that we need to do. We need to learn more. We need to put strong solutions in place, and we need to make sure that they come to fruition.
For yourself, obviously, it's been a great journey since the governor announced his reparations committee. The fact that so many people are now finding out more and more about it as it goes from city to city to city. Share with us a little from your perspective of what the public is giving you back. Is there skepticism? about whether or not any of this is really going to come to fruition. Here I am sharing my heart. Here we are sharing history. We know the story. You know, you talk about it, we talk about it, but it falls on deaf ears. How do you answer the critics that are out there saying, listen, you know what? This is great. We've talked about reparations, but now to have a committee on it, that's great. But we're really not too optimistic about what the future holds.
Yeah, we've heard that. We certainly have heard that from New
Loud and
Yorkers.
proud too, right?
Yes, and we get that, especially the time that we're in today, when there's so many attacks on diversity, on equity and inclusion and belonging. Absolutely, we feel that. But here's what I tell folks: there is an opportunity. There's a bold statement to say, so by establishing the commission, that we're serious about it. Not only are we serious about it, we put $5 million behind it. We have 9 incredible commissioners that are committed to this work. We don't want to see this shelved and be another report, but it's going to be up to New Yorkers to now, once we provide the report, to champion that report and to make sure it happens. So we'll do our part, but it's going to be up to you to do your part to make sure that our elected officials in New York, so our Senate body, our assembly body, that they vote for this, they vote for the changes and make them happen, bring them to fruition. And so we're going to do our part. We're going to look for New Yorkers to do their part, and we're going to look for the governor and our senators and our assembly members to do their part. And so if we can do that, we can make it happen.
Talk to me about the Bronx and New York City. Running short on time, but I want to talk about the Bronx and New York City and the role in all of this migration and stuff that's going on here. What can you give us a quick history lesson, quick information update?
Listen, I'm not the historian here, but there will be 2 historians that will be there. So we want you to come out on April 10th. We're going to be in the Bronx. Learn more about it on our website at newyork.gov. We're going to be at the Dreiser Community Center from 5 to 9 p.m. 5 to 8 p.m. We'll have the public hearing, and then from 8 to 9 there'll be our business meeting. You can meet me. You can meet the other commissioners. We have our vice chair, Commissioner Jenkins. She will be alongside me. And we're going to be learning more from community members. But it's an opportunity to understand the harms, to provide your voice, and then champion the change. So we hope to see you on April 10th at 5 p.m. in the Bronx.
And as far as moving across other parts of the city and the state, how does a person find out about that?
Go to our website. You can go to our website at newyork.gov/reparations. We're going to be in Long Island next in May, and we're looking forward to that. We're going all across New York. If you can't make the commission meeting, you can still provide testimony via email, or you can call in your testimony. So we want to make sure that we have an opportunity to hear all voices. Here it is. Go to our website, newyork.gov/reparations. Thank you for having me and I represent the New York State Community Commission for Reparation Remedies. Thank you.
No, I thank you so much for being with us, and certainly I think it's great work that's going on. I mean, before we go, share a little bit just from yourself on a personal aspect, you know, from whence we've come, right? And understanding that now you're in this reparations conversation, and from your perspective, a lot closer to reality than a lot of other efforts that are out there. What's that like for you being on the cutting edge of this?
This is certainly, for me, this is what we've been working for. My day job, I work at the Urban League. I'm the CEO of the Urban League in Rochester. So the work is always to champion change for Black and Brown communities and create a pathway to upward mobility. I see this as the opportunity. And I hope that other Black New Yorkers will champion this and see this as well, and not be concerned about whether this is going to happen. Let's work to make it happen. If we have the vision, we can achieve it. So certainly, this is important work to me. I'm excited. We don't get paid for this. This is something that we volunteer to do, but we believe in it. We believe that this is part of the change process. And this is something that we are doing for the ancestors. So I am so honored to lead this work alongside the other 8 commissioners. So come on out, learn more. I hope to see you there too.
Yeah, I hope to be there too, but I'm gonna tell you something. I work in the Bronx, but I also live in this place that you passed over, because I see you went to Buffalo, I see you went to Albany, I see you went to Rochester. I'm here in Syracuse, so I don't see Syracuse's name on the list.
We were in Syracuse too. Our first meeting, we had 2 meetings in Syracuse and New Rochelle.
It's not on my notes. I don't know anything about it.
We'll have to get there. We were in Syracuse, but we're going back. One of our commissioners, Commissioner Brown Robinson, she is from Syracuse, New York. So we've got representation from the Bronx, from Rochester, where I'm from Syracuse. all the way to New Rochelle to the Bronx and Brooklyn. So this commission is well represented by New Yorkers all across the state. So certainly want to see you in Syracuse too. We need to make sure that Syracuse is aware of the commission. And that's the work we all have to do. We have to share that this commission exists. If you ask someone today and if they don't know that there is a community commission that's working on reparations, then we've got a lot of work to do. We're in the process of getting a comms team, a communications team to help us to share that message. But what's most important is that people know that this work is happening and that they have a role in championing the change. So
Absolutely.
Syracuse, if you're listening, that's what you need to do too.
Absolutely. Dr. Seanelle Hawkins, we definitely thank you for coming and sharing with us
Thank
today
you.
and having this conversation with you. I'm just need to check with my producer and make sure I'm good. But she is the commission chair on the New York State Community Commission on Reparations Remedies. And by the way, I do know Linda Brown Robinson. I'll just let you know that before we go.
She's an
Oh,
incredible. There are some incredible commissioners
yes.
on this commission that are doing the hard work, that are passionate and want to see this happen. So thank you. Thank you
No.
for the opportunity to tell the story.
No, and thank you for the work that you're doing, and definitely we're looking forward to hearing more from the commission, and we'll have you back to share more as time goes on.
I'm
All
going to
right.
hold you through that. We will share more when we have that report done, and we're going to need to get the word out, and we're going to need to get the community busy on championing the work. So thank you.
All righty. Well, thank you.